Hi everyone and welcome back. This is the unboxing and test fitting of PG Sinanju Resin Conversion Kit from SH Studio. This is not a full resin kit, unlike the more common releases. First of all is a massive box. Here is a MG new for car box as a comparison. This resin kit requires a PG Unicorn as a base kit, which I guess is thematically appropriate as they share the same prototype canonically. For this kit, there are the basic and premium versions of the kits which you can buy. The basic option being only the parts for the main body, and the premium version you get parts for the rifle, the shield, the bazooka, and the metal cables. But the premium exclusive parts can be purchased separately though, as well as the wireless LEDs. I got a really good deal on the basic version, which I have here, and so I bought the shield and rifle separately. I say good deal, but it was still about £350 altogether. So yes, this is probably the most expensive conversion kit out there. Looking around the box, it's got a pretty nice presentation, and inside the box you get 4 inner boxes full of parts. The only other kit that they make that has 4 boxes is the PG Cubile, but it hasn't got nearly as many parts. So let's open the first box. In here you get some random bits of cards. I have already voiced my opinion on this kind of presentations in SH kits before, and to me they don't really add that much to the experience, and who knows how much it has added to the cost. So I would be happier if these weren't included and the price was a little bit cheaper because of that. But anyway, let's look at the parts. Like I've said in other unboxing videos, the original series casting quality is pretty good. Details are crisp, and generally you won't see muddy miscast. Here are some examples of the smaller parts. I say small, but they're still quite big compared to other scales. Which is kind of why I really like working on big scale kits, because everything is just bigger. In the next box you get a pack of accessories, which we'll look into in a sec. And next we get the manual, which we'll put aside for now. A small bag of clear parts. Energy cables. Like I said, you can purchase the metal ones separately, but they are really expensive. And lastly, the optional weapon sets that I bought separately. I didn't buy the bazooka just because I know it'll be too heavy to do anything but to point downwards. And for about $60 to $70 or so, it doesn't really add much to the kit. So let's look at the accessories. First, we get a booklet, which we will have a look in a second. 2 metal tubes for the bazooka, which is very strange, as this came inside the regular version. But you don't get the bazooka parts in the regular version, so I don't know why they are here. Next, you get some rods for the fuel tanks. You have the option for short or long tanks. Basically you omit some parts for the short version to make it shorter. Then you get some wire stuff for the energy cables. Plastic parts. Some metal pins. Magnets for locking parts in place. And finally some heavy duty metal parts for joints like hips and the backpack. So let's look at the booklet. Inside, you get a nice sheet of photo etch parts, and there's actually quite a generous amount here, so that's really nice to see. Next are the water slides and pictures for where they go. But the funny thing is, the water slides are not numbered, so in order to know which one goes where, you basically just have to see exactly what the water slides is. It would be just so much easier if they've labeled the water slides. And now let's look at the instruction booklet. It is a pretty standard SH manual, although very thick due to how many parts there are. But as usual, it is pretty nice looking and very easy to follow. And you get some nice reference photos for the painting stage too. The red parts in the instruction are the plastic parts from the frame runner, and the purple parts are from the unicorn frame, which is not a lot. In fact, here is everything that you need from the unicorn, and the most you use is at the legs. Other than that, you only need a little bit of the arms and the main body. And it is strange to see because it could have easily been a full resin kit with plastic parts, as their other kits usually are. But they made it a conversion so that Bandai doesn't go bananas on them. At least that's what the GM Dream, the designer, told me. So yeah, besides the mega high price point of the resin kit, you also need to buy a PG Unicorn just to use about 20% of it. But that's it for the manual, and let's get the kit built. Assembly overall is pretty standard. Here I'm doing some pinning for the heavy parts. This is the shield mount, so things like that will be handling a lot of weight will need to be pinned down. Smaller parts that are just, sitting on top of other parts, you can just glue them. This is probably the most misaligned part. So overall, nothing too much to fix, just some sanding here and there. For few tanks, you need to drill the holes a little bit, so it's just easier to slide in and out the rods to assemble. But yeah, the few tanks are quite difficult to assemble because the parts don't really stay in place and they just like flop around. The biggest problem in this kit is most of the parts straight up have no connection points. Take this arm part for example, there's nothing on the inside, so basically there's no connection whatsoever, and overall it just seems a little bit lazy. And this is the side skirt of the leg, and it's designed to stay in place, but you can also rotate. As you can see though, it just doesn't want to stay attached. The attaching point is just too shallow. But yeah, things like that just seems like they're too lazy to think of the logistics of the assembly. And here is how it looks assembled. Obviously I haven't put every single part in, as I'm just test fitting and testing how it holds up structurally. Overall, the resin parts don't connect well with the unicorn frame, so there's a lot of work needed to secure it. During filming, the thigh parts gave up a couple of times and the whole kit collapsed. So I recommend pinning the two halves of the thighs together. And of course I don't have the rifle and shield attached. There's no chance it can hold them without glue. The other thing is they gave the kit a lot of open hatch gimmicks. But like, who's going to open and close all the hatches when it's painted and finished? And in return, you get a lot of loose moving parts that you got to find a way to attach well. So I would just prefer if there's less of that actually in exchange for more stability. And very strangely, they didn't manage to cover this knee part up. Like, this clip is not connected to anything, it's just dangling in the open. So yeah, I'll just have to find a way to make it look prettier. And okay, now onto the most egregious thing about this kit. As you can guess, this kit is very back heavy because of the backpack and the fuel tanks. So you assume the stand will give some support to it. And indeed it does. But somehow the backpack just sits on top of this clip. You know, I thought that because of the shape of the connector, that it would be slotting into something else. But no, I've confirmed with other builders who have built this kit, and it is literally just sitting on it. Just look at how unstable it is when I move it. This is just the laziest design of the whole kit right here. So yeah, in conclusion, the kit looks great, but a lot of the work has been passed down to you, the builder, because they didn't really bother making a better design. But yeah, this kit is going into the backlog for the moment. Maybe I'll start working on it, perhaps summer of next year. But I wanted to let you know that commission is available. So if you do want to commission, please let me know. Just be aware that it won't be cheap, given the resin kit alone was £350. So that's all for this video. Like, share and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.